Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Harm's Way Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Craig. As always, also, right across from me, my wonderful brother, Eric. Eric, what is up?
I'm back again, like herpes.
You can't kill me.
You can't get rid of me. I'm there forever.
Knock me down.
They call me
I
the
come twice.
viral load. Episode 41. Great to be back.
41, guys. We are still not rich and famous, but we're having a great time. 41 is pretty big. 50 is a big milestone.
I had a good time today.
That's great.
You know, I gotta confess, the most fun I have is riding around in the car with you.
What?
When you're shopping for clothes, that's the worst goddamn thing on this earth.
Yes,
and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Clothes and guns is what I.
Well, when we're shopping for guns, it's a little different. But when you're looking for clothes or shoes or some dumb shit like that, I'm just kind of like.
To be fair,
you have a hard time deciding what to buy.
Oh, I do. I'm very.
You do.
I'm cautious with my money, but I'm also You know me. I don't buy anything unless I do a lot of research. Guns, vehicles.
You have to do a lot of research.
I do a lot of research
when you buy guns.
And then the process is weird though. It's up and down. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm doing research, weeks of research. Like I'm making a fucking case study or something. And then I go to buy, chicken out. Then I go to buy with you, and I get remorse. Even though I didn't even buy anything yet, I get nervous, I get happy, then I'm super confident, and then the bottom drops off and I want to leave, and then my confidence comes back slowly, and then I purchase.
There was a point where, when you were buying the shoes, there was a point where I was just like, I walked away for a minute, and then I came back to tell you that I was going to go wait in the car, and you were gone. And I was like, and that's when I saw you down the aisle, heading towards the checkout. Remember when you turned around? Yeah. Then I saw you down there, I was like, he knows.
He knows. Because I did the same thing. That's what was funny about that is I think I said something because I had set my jacket up on those racks. Completely fucking forgot where my jacket was. So I'm literally running around holding the shirt that I'm about to buy. Yeah. Found my jacket and I was like, here I am, Eric. And I shouted in the exact opposite direction that you were in. You were back this way.
Yeah.
And I was shouting up by the registers. I look around. I go, Eric? Shrugged and I fucked off to the
guy that was helping you at the gun counter. So I walked around the aisle. I was looking at gun safes for a minute, and I'm standing there, and I turned to walk down that aisle, and the guy that was helping you at the gun counter had walked up to the Asian guy wearing the Burger King crown. Don't know why.
Wadsworth is a crazy place.
Yeah.
Who coincidentally had one hand.
And the guy that was helping you said something to him, and he like turned and looked at me real quick, and I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if he said something about you or whatever. But then I walked back around and you were gone. And I was like, they killed Craig.
That's some racist.
I was like, they killed Craig. Yeah. You notice when we walked in, he looked like he had a shopping cart. He looked like he was walking out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy works here. And he's walking around with a Burger King crown on.
Yeah, the shoe guy, I said.
Like a fucking goon.
I said, hey, can I get some help over here? Even though he had a cart in the middle aisles. And the aisles, they're only about up to your eyes. Or your like chin, so you can see over.
Yeah.
And he can see us clearly over there.
Yeah.
And he didn't come up and ask for help or anything. And finally I walked over to him. I said, hey, can I get these shoes when you get a second? He's like, yeah. And he comes over. Yeah. I said, they got these in 11.5. He goes, I don't know. And I was like, okay. Can I get them in 11.5 if they have them? He goes, yeah, sure. And he walks away. And I turned to say something to you. And I was like, what a fucking idiot. And you were kind of at the end, like looking at boots or something. You were just like, 8 feet. And I was like, I'm not going to shout that. I'll wait till he comes back.
To be fair,
we were not in
You
sync.
had the display shoe in your hand. You're like, are these at 11.5? It's like, he's not going to fucking know unless he goes back and checks.
No, dude. When I worked at Dick's, the footwear guys especially, they knew every shoe. They were fucking on.
They knew what the inventory was
footwear,
in real time.
Footwear was their thing.
Like they were tapped in.
They were checking every hour for signature shoes, premium shoes.
It's fucking hot down there. It might be the pre-buzz sweats,
Maybe.
But I'm feeling pretty fucking
coming
hot
down.
Right now.
So I'm kind of getting chilly, but also a weird sweat.
Are you afraid that they took pictures of you when,
hold on,
let's get
all of that first. They did take pictures, yeah. Not of my wiener or anything.
We had a fun day.
I hope they used the wide angle. But, So I got the shoe. He comes out and he just hands me. You know how somebody hands you a thing of shoes and then they wait with you to like you try them on, make sure that those are the ones you want. This motherfucker handed them to me, fucked right off.
He had shit to do.
There's nobody else in the store.
I know.
So I tried them on. I was like, hey, Eric, look, yeah, okay, they're good. Oh, $40. All right.
Then you pissed me off because you put one on and then you had your Croc on your other shoe.
I wiped it off.
And you used the Croc to press the heel to get it off of your other foot. And pure white shoes, you're like, I need white shoes, I need white shoes.
Well, I need them for
and then
the
you go and do that, and there's a big old shit stain on the heel of that brand new shoe.
I wiped it off, I cleaned it. To be fair, I don't know when or if I'm ever going to wear these
you
shoes.
You did that, and
I'll wear them to work just to be goofy, and they'll be bright white. But they're not going to be bright. I haven't had the last bright white pair of shoes I had, Eric, was like a pair of Air Force Ones and a pair of K-Swisses.
You did that
back in like the 9th grade.
You did that 4th grader, press one shoe, use your toes of your one shoe on the heel of your other shoe to force your shoe off. And I saw it just shit stain smear down the back of it. I went, God damn it, Craig, you haven't even bought the fucking things yet.
Yeah, I should have asked for another pair. But then I went and got the shirt. And then, okay, for those of you, people listening aren't really going to get the context. Today, I had to have a procedure done.
You had to get scoped.
I had to have an endoscopy. Don't say scope, because then they think it's my knee again. I had to have an endoscopy or EGD, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Some long frickin' name. They stick a scope down your stomach to make sure everything's all right. I did find, apparently I have a hiatal hernia, which means that the lining of my stomach is coming through my abdomen, I guess. I don't know. It's small.
I thought he said it was your esophagus passes through a muscle wall.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
He said the muscle wall. Higher. The muscle wall was pulling away from the esophagus. Soft guys. Yeah.
The soft guys.
I was there for that part.
Yeah.
Where the doctor was explaining that.
So this was a weird day. Weird procedure.
I thought it was funny they took you out of one room and brought you to another one. Because she comes in and she goes, all right, I'm going to wheel you out. Eric, fuck off. And I was like, okay. I thought I was just going to wait here until he got back, but...
Oh, no, she took me back to the OR.
I know.
Okay.
But when they brought you back...
Which was a stone's throw from where you were.
When they brought you back, they brought you to another room.
Oh,
so she made me go out and wait in the fucking waiting room with all the plebs for like...
How long were you out there?
It's like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome. The plebs.
Yeah, anybody looking to get, what is it, an EGD?
EGD.
Anybody looking to get an EGD done, it takes 10 to 15 minutes.
It
was quick. We waited, before that, we waited like, 45 minutes or whatever?
It was over an hour, easily. Because we got there early.
We got there.
They got us in fairly quick.
We went up to the lobby, sat down in the waiting room for like 90 seconds. They took us back. We waited for like an hour.
We watched 2 full episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, so it was a while.
You watched 2 full episodes of 90 Day Fiancé. I was reading the news and being a productive member of society.
So I was too, dude. Current events, 90 Day Fiancé. So it was, yeah. So they wheeled me back, and then you feel like a piece of meat, because they're. First of all,
every time they wheeled somebody by that room, I looked at you like freaked out. Like I tried to give you like the most freaked out look I could.
I did too.
Like that's it. That's the last time we'll see them.
They're gonna hand you to me in a box. But like you said, so they wheel you back, and the room's super cold. I love the OR. It's like the coldest room. It's perfect. So and there are all these nice people who are talking to me, and the ladies I ripped out my freaking EKG monitor like 4 times. And she's like, all right, we're going to put you on your side. And I was like, you're going to put me on my side? And she goes, nope, I need you to get on your side. I was like, there you go. So I roll over on my side, and she's like, she fluffs the pillow under my head. I'm like, dude, I'm comfortable. I was like, give me 4 minutes, I'll be out.
Put you on your side?
Yeah.
They didn't like sit you up and go straight down?
No, they sit you on your side.
Put you on your side. Hey, you know this is an endoscopy, right?
I should have said that. But she puts... the anti-chompers in my mouth. It's this this plastic green piece with a fucking strap that goes around your head. And she goes to put it in my mouth, and I said, is that clean? That thing looks like it's from the 90s. And they all start laughing. And she puts it in, she goes, and then she straps around my head, and she goes, is that comfortable? And I was like, I feel really kinky right now. And they all started laughing. So
was the doctor in the room at that time?
Oh yeah, Bedford was joking around with me and shit. Because I asked him, he's like, you got any questions?
He seems like a really sweet guy.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, how long after can I eat? He goes, oh, he's like, as soon as you leave, if you're feeling fine, he's like, fucking eat. And I was like, okay, I have a work party tomorrow, our Christmas party. Can I drink alcohol? And they all go, fuck yeah. Dude, I'm like, all right.
Well, it's cool. Friday. They were all like a couple hours away.
That's why he wanted to get me in early.
They were all a couple hours away.
They're about to hit happy hour and shit. So I'm like, okay, so she puts this fucking bite guard thing on me. Dude, it was weird because like your mouth's open. It's like
it's like almost a ball gag.
Like a gimp. That's I think I said something about a ball like gag, and she goes, no, it's like this, and it holds your mouth open like just big enough for a tube, but not like a dick shaped tube, and then it straps firmly around your neck. So you're like, okay, I'm either getting operated on or fucked right now, and then they put the mask over you, and then the Asian lady was my anesthesiologist, real quiet. The rest of them were joking, and she leans over and she goes, all right, Craig, I want to administer your anesthetic. She goes, it's about sleepy time. I said, take me out. She chuckled a little. I was pretty proud of myself. So she goes, all right, it's in. I go, I don't feel shit. And but the bodyguard thing, I don't hear shit, you know? And all of a sudden my toes started getting numb. And I'm like, what the and then it went up my knee, and then to my ass, my hip, my back.
Kind of cupped your balls a little bit.
Yeah, a little kiss on the tip as it goes up. And I'm going, oh my God, I feel done. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then I'm the next thing I legitimately remember was when you were in the doorway. And I was
big
coughing
lumbering
my ass off.
Big lumbering shadow in the doorway.
I don't remember asking for water, but she got me water. I don't remember waking up.
I should have ran down to the car.
I'm hoping I didn't say anything stupid.
I should have ran down to the car, donned a Grim Reaper costume with a sickle and everything, marched my ass back in there, fought off all the orderlies. Nurses, not orderlies. Orderlies are the mental institute, right?
No, I think you can have orderlies.
Should have fought off all the nurses back up to the second floor. Eric? Yeah? And I just come lumbering along as the Grim Reaper.
Mr. Harmon, I'm here for you.
Mr. Harmon, it's time.
Dude,
what do you think the doc would have said if I came around the corner dressed as the Grim Reaper?
It's fucking Barberton, man. I'm sure they wouldn't have cared too bad.
He probably would have laughed his ass off and been like, get the fuck out of here.
He probably would have got shot. But, yeah, it was a good time. So I woke up and I felt great. I mean, dude, knees were fine, hip was fine. I was hungry.
Yeah,
I had a little bit of a cough.
You were in a great mood.
I was.
And then you were like just begging me to take you to a Chinese buffet.
So they said he told me about the hiatal hernia. He's like, I'm gonna put you on a prescription for a while. He's like, you do have I forget what it's in the sheet up there. I got something condition with my gut that needs cleared up. I don't know if it's an infection or what, but it's mild. But he said it could be a part of like some.
Is that the bacteria thing he was talking about? He said it could be.
Yeah.
Because he said it's there. He said you have pain here, and he reached over like right under your pec.
Yeah. And that's where I get those cramps. You got the titty sweat.
Oh yeah, my whole front is drenched.
When I lift these up, it's like I got a division sign across my chest.
Yeah, my whole front is drenched right now.
That's what it was, bacteria though.
Yeah, he said it's some bacterial infection. He said take it.
He said it's common.
He said take it for 6 weeks. He said if you feel great afterwards, then.
Well, he said it'll kill it.
He said then you're good. You can keep taking it or whatever. But he said if after 6 weeks, he said
if it's not doing anything,
if it's not doing anything, he said stop.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you remembered that. And then he said, and then that's it. He's like, you're actually, throat, everything is good.
Yeah.
To go, because this is all preliminary to the gastric bypass. Which, and then he said, when have they scheduled me for it? Because he's not even really in contact. His office is doing all the scheduling, but I have to go see. Like I have a psychological appointment. You have to have a psych eval, and that is.
That's strange.
Next month.
Why do you gotta have a psych?
No, March.
Why do you gotta have a psych eval?
Because they have to see. Once you have this surgery, it's not like you can't go back to how you were eating. You have to have
test you
a strong enough psyche to make change. Because this is huge. If I go back to eating the way I eat, then...
Well, do you want to die?
Yeah, exactly. That's what could happen. So
Seriously, do
they
you
have
want to
make,
die?
No. That's part of the reason I'm
Do
doing
you want to fucking die?
So they have to make sure that I don't have any mental... I say conditions, not illnesses. Obviously, I have mental illnesses. But I don't have any mental conditions. It's part of being a Harmon. But... I'm just kidding.
You could
partly.
You could be right.
Partly. So... They want to check you. They have to do everything they have to do to check, you know. So it's fine. I can, it's not like. But I have to go see. I need to see somebody about my anxiety and all that shit anyway soon. So they're gonna. So I have to do that, and then he basically said, I think the my chart thing on my phone says we're aiming for June, but I was like, I need it to be after June because my wife's graduating nursing school. Hopefully, knock on wood, love you, babe, by then. So I don't want to be doing this right around her graduation. Right? I don't really want to be doing this because I'm going to be down and out for about 6 weeks. I have to spend a couple nights in the hospital post-surgery.
Yeah.
And then I have to spend 4 weeks on like a liquid diet where somebody basically has to take care of me. Yeah. I can't expect her to do that, take care of Charles, and work, and go to nursing school. So that would just be completely...
Yeah.
Horseshit of
Definitely.
It. So, and I told him that he's like, fine, yeah, man. He's like, we got time, don't worry. But he's great. Yeah, he's awesome. He's actually did my boss's surgery too, which he remembered her right off the rip, and he told me to tell her hi.
Yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy. It was something he said where he was like, nah, what did he say? He said, nah, that's horseshit. Or something.
Yeah.
There was something, I can't remember. Where he said, you don't have to deal with all that horseshit.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. I guess I'm okay. I have some stuff. But.
I wonder a lot. Like, we were talking in the car a little bit. I wonder about the doctor world. Because, like, he has an office, but he operates out of a hospital.
Several hospitals.
He operates out of several hospitals. That one, it's like... What do you do when, like, you just got done doing, like, a surgery here, and you got to go cross town to another surgery you're doing in the afternoon or some shit?
I don't think they schedule shit like that. First of all, I don't know. It's almost like I need like a doctor friend to fucking come on the show and explain this shit for us.
Yeah,
Chris, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
JK, man,
no, it would be.
We still want to get you on. Shout out, Chris, the anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being a doctor or a surgeon is all that shit's scheduled by your like. His schedules for like the week or the month are probably at one hospital, and then he might do a stint at another hospital. You know what I mean? Or it could be day to day, but I doubt he's got like one in Barberton and then one at Medina. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like that. I just
always
wrong,
wondered about that. I don't really know.
But who says he doesn't jump in his Maserati and do 95?
Maserati? You mean his Aston Martin? God damn.
But he's good. He comes highly recommended. That's what's cool about Barberton is the people are great. The people that work at the hospital are great.
They were all really nice.
All those motherfuckers have nothing but great things to say about him. And I didn't hear him say anything else about any other doctors.
That was the other question I had, because like the nurse anesthesiologist.
Anastasia?
We'll
say anesthesia.
No, he didn't say anesthesiologist. He said anesthetist.
And that anesthetician.
The nurse anesthetist.
Anesthetist.
He was the guy who came in and asked you a bunch of questions or whatever.
Yeah. He had a fuzzy chest and the gold chain. Homie was fucking hanging, bro. Yeah. He goes, pull your mask down, open your mouth. And he goes, this is what he said, Eric. So you're me. He says, pull your mask down, open your mouth, and you do it. And he goes, look good. And I'm like, bro, I could have like fucking like glass.
He didn't even look at you when you opened your mouth?
He glanced. He was like, good. And I was like, motherfucker, what the?
Well, he came in. I was like,
yeah, he was cool.
When I saw him, I thought.
I don't remember his ass being in the room though.
You don't remember him?
Yeah.
You had the nurse that came in, the older bald guy came in, did your vitals and all that shit. Philip, yeah.
Phil.
He was nice, and then the nurse anesthetist or whatever.
Yeah.
He came in. Did
the
that.
Female chick.
I was like, okay, this is the guy that's going to be doing the anesthesia and shit.
No, he's just a nurse.
And your story just now when you were like, oh yeah, the Asian chick who was
she was the anesthesiologist.
I was like, wait a minute, how's this hierarchy break down?
Because she popped in like real quick and was like, "Hi, I'm your blah blah blah." And I was like, "Hello," and that was it.
What the hell was the other guy then?
An anesthetician.
Yeah, what the hell's that?
I don't know, Eric. It's almost like
Yeah,
I need
right.
an anesthesiologist friend to come on the show and explain this shit to us.
I bet that guy was just some hobo. He dressed
son.
up. He comes in. I'm the nurse anesthetist, and
No, I think it's like an assistant. I don't know. Maybe we should ask my wife if she would
I don't know.
ever be
Man.
on a show with us again.
And yeah, then the next person was the nurse that took you out, told me to fuck off, and then
Yeah, so she's cool. She's the one who lives in Lodi
oh yeah,
and gets nothing but deer meat. And she was bragging a little bit. I'll forgive her. She said everybody in her family got multiple deer this year and tagged out, and I'm over here with my gown on. So that was cool. We talked about that, and then the lady, one of the main, so they're surgical nurses, which I don't know if they're LPN or RN, but that's all they do is surgical nursing.
yeah.
So they clean the shit, get the shit ready, hand the shit, and that's a job because you don't do anything else. Like you just come in, you do your surgeries, and you fuck off home. That's great, and you probably get paid buku money. So that's what Philip and I were talking about too. So they were cool. She said, she was like, "Is that a hair tie?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You know, you had long hair a long time. When you're worried about busting a hair tie, so you carry it back up on your thumb." She goes, "Oh my God." She's like, "I do that too." And I'm like,
I never met a man who did that.
that's
before.
exactly what she said. And I was like, she goes, "That's really smart." I was like, "Right on." And I was like, "People make fun of me." She goes, "Forget people."
Forget people.
They were all really that place is full. Barberton's Barberton, and people from around there, they know what Barberton's like. But if you judge the people by Barberton, by the people that work at Barberton Hospital, you fucking love Barberton. Those people were amazing.
Yeah,
Love
they were all really nice.
But they they got me in
the
there.
nurse that came out and got me and brought me in, and she was really sweet. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what she said. She said something funny, and I was like, "It's gonna be a fun ride home."
Oh, because of how high I was.
And then I
thought it
said,
was fine.
"I said, I bet he hasn't stopped talking since he woke up." And she was like, "Yep."
Oh God.
And I heard you all the way down the fucking hall.
See,
man.
I don't remember.
As
That's
soon
what.
as they took me in through the automatic double doors,
Yeah.
I fucking heard you down there.
See, that's what makes me nervous because I could have literally said anything.
That's why I want to
I
talk.
could have given out my
I
social
wanna-
security number.
I want to have a doctor on and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what's the craziest shit people have said when they're under anesthesia or when they're, fucked up?"
Like where Jimmy Hoffa was buried. Like some old dude. But yeah,
Just
so
some guy waking up reciting Mein Kampf or some shit.
that's what I'm afraid of. Like I don't remember because I like mentally I cannot recall other than when you were in the doorway. That's what the point that I remember too.
Yeah, that's with the starting point.
It was like
Dude,
the sand started to
you
fall.
were
at
talking
that
up a
point.
storm as I was
I
walking
don't
down the
know.
hallway.
I think Bedford was in there, right?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I
in
was
there.
coughing. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Jesus, that cough."
Well, he was in there with you.
But he was talking. I remember.
He probably followed you out of the OR back to the.
That's
to
why
the room.
I
He probably got done with you and was just like, "All right, let's get him out of here."
I could have been like, "Give me that PP." Like I could have literally said anything to him.
You were probably out until you got back to the room, and then you started coming to, and then you started saying a bunch of weird shit.
Which is great because
See, that's why I wanted to watch
I mean,
it.
him and I have like 4 more encounters that we got to deal with, and a
Ask him,
surgery.
hey, did I say anything fucked up when I was coming out?
I will. I'll say something
When I was coming on.
because it's funny.
No,
'cause-
ask him. Hey. Ask him if he wants to come on the show.
No, there's no way.
Oh, he would love to.
I would love to, but I don't think he can because of. I don't know, Eric.
Well, he probably can't. I don't. Yeah.
Hey man, do you want to come to Canton and fucking sit in my basement and talk about?
No, he doesn't want to be associated with us, probably.
Not just that. Yeah, if we had like a clean like Christian podcast, maybe. But I don't know if
we
he
can
because he's.
we can do a clean podcast.
Oh my God! Wouldn't it be great if we did it post surgery and I introduced him as the man who was inside me? This is my doctor. His hands were literally inside
The
me.
only man that's ever been inside me.
Besides my camp counselors. So yeah, it would
Yeah.
be.
I feel
That
bad.
would be hilarious.
I
But
feel
there's
bad
no
about
way.
previous episodes because I'm like, we'll never be able to get a doctor on because they're like, no, I don't want to associate with you fucks.
No, and he might be opposite because he's very new school. So he those might be like old school rules, Eric. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I just don't want to. I don't want to put anybody in a bad situation.
I was trying to shoot my shot with Chris, and he ain't got back to me. So we'll
whatever.
see.
I guess
So what you're saying is we need a really shitty doctor.
I guess I'll just have to become a doctor then.
Oh my god!
we checked off engineer just fine. I mean,
Oh, my
how
solder
could it be?
spots hurt. It does. It's a little soft here, but
I'm gonna be a proctologist. I'll study assholes. Isn't that what a proctologist does?
yes, it's a butt doctor.
Butt doctor.
Yeah, I study assholes.
Or a gynecologist, yeah.
No, don't do that. I study assholes, but it's just because of where I work. Butt doctor, proctologists make a lot of money though. That's the
I
thing.
think any kind of person in the medical field kind of
A
makes a lot of money.
specialized physician. I feel like.
Neurosurgery would be pretty cool.
I'd be too nervous.
Why?
See what I did there?
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. You're a funny fucker.
I'm bleeding on the inside.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, but yeah.
Is 30 too early? Or is that too late to begin the journey to become a
Let's
doctor?
see. 6 years of school, 2 years of what's that called?
Residency?
Residency. 4 years of. I mean, you'd be able to finish up at 45, so maybe. You'd be like world renowned and like a fucking rookie, like at the same time.
Patch Adams.
People would think
I'll be 50, hanging out with a bunch of 30-year-olds that are already done.
you'd be walking in and people would be like, "Oh man, he's got to be like head of cardiology or whatever," and you're like, "Hi, I'm Eric. I'm new."
Yeah, I'm doing my residency, man.
I'm a butt doctor. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I felt like I could trust you because all the gray hair. Dude, I just
That's
got out of
exactly what
school
they
last
say.
year.
Yeah.
No, it's like, at this point, it's like, nah. That ship is sailed.
I just graduated from Johns Hopkins. I used to smoke pot with Johnny Hopkins.
Yeah, and Sloan Kettering. I think if I knew what I knew now, maybe I'd done things. I don't think I would have done school.
I would have been a doctor.
I don't think I don't know.
A veterinarian, yes. A doctor.
I mean, looking back, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I would have either not bothered with school at all, or I would have went hard to the paint and just became like a neurosurgeon or some shit.
Yeah, like best in class, like
I would have tried to go hard at it, but
payload. I would. I don't know. I thought about this the other day because with all the stuff going on with the cats,
veterinarian would have been great.
veterinarian. I wish I would have pursued that a little harder. I went from veterinarian to zoologist.
Yeah, you were
thinking like zoologist was like a thing, and
you changed your major like 6 times.
no, I didn't.
Yes, you fucking.
I changed my major twice.
I remember you job shadowed.
That was in high school, Eric.
Yeah, because you wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yeah, but I didn't. I changed my I only changed my major once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Why? What?
From zoologist to sports management.
Sports medicine.
Sports management. Focus.
Management? I thought you did. Oh, okay.
Or exercise physiology.
Okay.
It was weird.
I just remember you telling me about our friend's mom who worked at the.
Yeah, I job shadowed her.
You job shadowed her and got to see him like neuter
twice.
neuter cats and shit.
Well,
Like
they neutered a dachshund, and it was fucking sad. They neutered a wiener dog. And it's literally like a grip and rip, and I was like, this lady.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. They were like, yeah, they just like grabbed the ball and fucking ripped it out.
Yeah,
like, what
they cut around,
fuck?
and then they cut around the tendon, they tie it, and then they just grip and rip. I didn't get the grip and rip, but I did get the cauterize, and I got to shave for something else. They did. There's a couple different things. I got a teeth cleaning. I got to do a teeth cleaning, which was cool, but. Yeah, I don't know. That was a professional veterinarian, but that was by no means a professional veterinarian. She was a little cuckoo. And seeing her rip nuts all day, I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, she's probably a feminist.
But
Fucking.
it was a good experience, and I had a lot of cool things to write about. But I don't know. I feel like So I went to Akron. Akron, I don't believe at the time had a veterinarian program. I would have had to go to a very small school, which I didn't really do my research. My college career started about a third of the way through. It didn't start.
Your 20s.
No, shut the fuck up. I wasn't going to college until about a third of the way through my senior year. My friend turned to me in history class and he said, "Hey, do you want to go to Akron next year and room together?" And I said,
And that was what hinged you going to college.
That was it. And then we raised our hand and we said, "Mr. Clark, can we use your computer to apologize? Can we use your
to apologize for the world
for what we're about to do to it?
what we're about to do to it?
Can you, to be statistics?" I said, "Can we use your computer to apply to college?" And I always just imagined like a little tear running down his cheek.
That's every high
high
school teacher's dream right there.
He said, "Yeah, guys, just keep it down." And I was like, all right, he was a Marine. He didn't give a fuck, bro. So we went back there and we legitimately, I had to text Mom to get her credit card information, and because you got to do the application fee over his computer. And that was super dumb to do back in that day, but he did the same thing with his mom. We paid the application fee. We both submitted, and then we got our packets like a week and a half later saying we were accepted. Oh, we had our transcripts. Yeah, our transcripts sent over and all that stuff.
Dude, I had to write essays and shit.
Yeah, no, we didn't have to do that shit for Akron. So then we got accepted at the same time. We were like, dude, and I told Mom and Dad, and I remember, because Mom had asked me 100 times, "Are you going to college?" And I was like, "No."
And
she was like, she kind of just died off, like stopped asking me. And then I told her, I said, "Hey, oh, by the way."
I thought she forced you to go.
Once I applied, because she didn't even... we weren't thinking about it. We weren't thinking about it. They thought about it for you. You had a chance. So
no, I thought that was Mom's shtick, was she was forcing you to go to college no matter what.
I told her... No, she said she was always gonna let us choose, but she'd rather us go. So
that's not the way I fucking saw it.
I went home.
I saw it as you're going to college.
I think she found out when I got the acceptance letter, and she was like, "Oh, you thinking about going to Akron?" I was like, "I am going to Akron." Didn't you read the fucking letter? So then we did our housing package, and Mom and Dad didn't even come to orientation with me. I went with Fry's mom, and she took us, and that was like a tour of the campus, the dorms, and we saw where they were there moving day. They dropped my shit off, and they were like, "See you next week."
There's not as much at stake when you're 40 minutes up the road. When you're 900 miles, it's like, we got to get this right.
Well, no, what was...
or something's going to get fucked up.
But it was orientation. Like, I expected them...
We flew down to Florida.
I know.
That was my first time on an airplane, actually.
Yeah. I didn't...
Dad fucking paid to fly. Actually, kudos to Dad.
Did you guys fly first class?
No, we didn't fly first. Dad did. Mom and I ended up in the back. Yeah, because Dad had all his fucking fault. But kudos to Dad for
buying you tickets and
for saying fuck this shit, we're gonna fly.
Granted, it was cheaper back then, but yeah, because he knew what was ahead of him. He knew he was gonna have to drive down every year, twice every year.
That flight wasn't. It's not the most expensive route you can buy.
No, and it's not that long of a flight, is it? 2 hours.
It was cool of Dad to be like, it was just a college visit.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Fuck it, we're flying. I'm not driving." Because it was just like it was really just like a 1-day thing. I think
you guys flew back the same day?
No. Like when you were on campus and the tours and shit and everything,
See, Akron's was played up a little bit.
So I think it was like a 1-day thing.
We went up and I drove up with Fry and his family.
It was like a weekend trip. Like we flew down there.
Stayed there. Yeah.
We did the tours and all that shit and everything that they explained to you, and then I think we were just like fucking around, hanging on the beach or whatnot. So
you guys had somewhere.
Kudos to Dad for paying for the tickets and the hotel and everything. Yeah.
We're gonna fucking stay in Akron.
You're 40 minutes up the road.
It ain't 40 minutes, bro. I made it to class in like 20 minutes before.
Shut the fuck up.
I fucking flew. Alright, I'll say like 28 minutes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we flew.
So we
Yeah, it was funny as hell because I was like all excited for my first flight. Dad got upgraded. That motherfucker's up front. Me and Mom are sitting next to each other, and I'm looking out the window.
If I was Dad, I'd just been hanging out the aisle like this. Fuck you guys.
Actually, I don't even think I sat next to Mom. I think Mom was...
Window seat would have been cool.
I was in a window seat on the way down.
Okay. Was that your first time when you were on the when you guys went down?
Yep, that was my first time on a plane.
Did you sit window seat and immediately regret sitting window seat?
No.
I did. Fucking,
No.
I was so excited to sit window seat, and as soon as we took off, I was like, "Get me the fuck out of
God!
here." I was like,
dude,
no,
I
God. I was
remember.
like, God, please. And I was going from Akron, Canton to Detroit, so that's literally like all right, we're climbing. All right, we're descending.
Yeah,
That's like a spit and you're there kind of deal.
Cruising altitude is 20,000 feet because that's all the farther we can get before we got to start coming back down.
Dude, I swear to God, we were up.
No, dude,
and we were dipping, and I was like, "Where the fuck are we?"
I remember it being the most exhilarating thing, and
oh, it was.
You see the way the ground falls away from you. It's just fucking.
Bro, I don't know.
You can't beat that.
My eyes were closed. I peeked outside, and I immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can compare it to is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But you know how in a roller coaster you run out of room, so you slow down?
Yeah.
You don't fucking slow down. And when you're going up, you're thinking like in a roller coaster, when you go up, you gotta peak, right? And you don't. You just keep going.
I was on a flight coming into Orlando one time at night, and we landed, hit the runway, slowed down for a split second. All of a sudden, he guns it.
Oh,
and takes off again.
I didn't know that was that common.
It's not very common, but yeah. Okay.
You better tell me what the fuck's going on.
So we took off again, came back around, and we did it again.
What?
Slows down for a split second, takes off again.
What?
And at this point, I'm pissed. And I'm like...
Make up your fucking mind. Are we dying or not?
I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, how much fuel we got left, asshole? I said, you better stick the next fucking landing.
Is that what it was because he fucked up the landing?
No, it was something with the traffic on the ground and the pattern and shit. Like
I'm in the mid room.
Something was fucked up. And yeah, when we came in for the third landing, I just remember sitting there, I was like, I got a lot of respect for these pilots. But Jesus Christ, man, you better fucking stick this one. And number 3, third time's the charm. He's, when we hit,
Did you guys bounce? Have you ever bounced?
No, it's smooth landing. And that was the thing. There was no weather that night or anything. It was beautiful. Yeah, third landing, we hit, and then he hits they hit the brakes, thrust reversers come on, and you're slowing down. And like as soon as those kicked on, I was like, okay, we're landing for real this time. And yeah, but I remember thinking, God damn, man, like we gotta be. Where was I coming from? I can't remember where I was coming from. It might have been Cleveland. It might have been Atlanta. It couldn't have been Atlanta. I just remember the second time it happened, I thought, how much fuel we got left, asshole? You better stick this one.
Jesus.
But,
see, I just remember...
Yeah, it did it.
There's like a speed.
It was... What the fuck, what? I can't remember if it was... traffic on the ground... or... I don't think he missed it. I don't think he overshot.
No, it was probably traffic.
I don't think he overshot or anything like that. I think it was...
Because I think that's what people said.
I think it was something with traffic on the ground.
There's
or
too
something.
many down, and they need to make room, so you have to go again.
Something,
so somebody else can
something
go.
like that. Like
we weren't do it if you have fuel.
We weren't gonna have a lane to get off the runway.
If
or something.
he would have said no, he didn't have fuel, they would have just had him pull off to the side or something. Wait, we had to do that.
If we hit
in Atlanta,
if we hit no fuel, he would have been heading for whatever fucking airport in the region he could have found.
Yeah, well, they have safety.
I think it was because
of the
landing pattern. We weren't gonna have room to move off the runway.
Yeah,
which is like that's a no.
No,
you can't stop.
You can't touch either
on the runway.
No, yeah.
There has to be an avenue that he can pull off, and I think what do they call it? The pattern or the ground traffic was full or something.
Yeah, probably.
And he couldn't do it.
I don't know how
he wasn't going to be able to pull off, so he had to come back around. Which, if the ground is full and he's got to come back around, it's like, how many fucking planes were trying to land behind us?
Yeah.
So like, there's planes behind us coming from God knows where, and they probably
your ass,
had to circle around, and goddamn ATC that night probably was a nightmare. The guys in Orlando were probably smoking like chimneys, like what the fuck's going on?
I can't do this job anymore, man.
They were probably pretty stressed. Those guys, you ever hear like the audio from like the ATC tower and whatnot? Those guys, man, they're nerves of fucking steel. They're directing 50 fucking airplanes going off, coming in, all this shit. Yeah. Those guys are insane.
You're all clear. Wait.
No, I mean, like, just on like normal day, those guys are really fucking good at what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have nerves of fucking steel. Even when shit's blowing up. You can have a plane on the tarmac that's on fire, and they're talking cool as fucking ice.
Yeah.
They are fucking... Those guys are nuts.
So,
yeah.
The coolest part I remember is taking off. Landing is like... I had a window seat for one of the landings, too. And it was like you're seeing like treetops, buildings. You know, they're down here, and you're seeing... You're knowing where you're at. Yeah. You know you're close. You're just waiting to feel that touch. And then you don't feel it for like 500 fucking yards. And
yeah, they
like,
come in.
What's going on?
They come in, it gets real quiet and real smooth.
Yeah. And then I had the guy that dropped us in Oklahoma City. His touch, the guy he's fucking Rembrandt of flying. Because his touch, I didn't know we were on the ground.
Yeah.
And he was literally dragging tire, and then we're riding the shocks. That's all we were doing. I didn't feel until the shocks bottomed out.
Some of those guys...
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Some of those guys are that good.
And he was like...
Some of them are not.
And this dude was like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down, down, down.
Some of them are good.
And I'm like, this is cool as fuck. Like, I like this guy. I was like, can I reserve you? Because you know how they hang out up front when you're leaving. I like shook his hand and shit. You can tell I was weird.
That's fun when they come out and they shake everybody's hand and like, have a good trip.
I was like, I don't have any cash to tip you. He's like, it doesn't work like that. And I was like, all right, sorry, love you, bye. And I just walked off.
Great.
And, because they were small planes that I was on the whole time. And,
dude, pilots are like neurosurgeons.
But when I landed in Akron, Canton, coming home after my connecting flight, that was a chunky white dude that he dropped us so hard that I thought I had a concussion. He hit and we bounced, so we went boom, and then it was like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and then we were touching again. Yeah. And the lady next to me fucking like rocked herself with her watch.
Oh, shit.
She was like this, and I was like calming her down because it was her first time, and I was like, first time? Even though this was only like my third time. And he went, boom! She's like, ah! And I was like, oh my God.
Fucking bleeding and shit.
And I could not. She's like, it was like a hollow thump.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn! Like, I couldn't contain myself. She was like, oh my God. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. She's like, is that supposed to happen? And in between that conversation is when we hit again. Yeah. And I was like, no, that was fucking... It hit, and it was almost like you could hear, like, the, like, shocks of the actual... Like, it felt like something broke. Yeah. It was like, what? And I'm like, man, those wings are fucking bent. Because that's another cool thing when you're in the air flying and you look out and you see the wings kind of moving a little.
Yeah, they're fluttering.
Everybody always thinks they're fucking solid, right?
No, they're not.
But that would be worse. You want them to fucking fluctuate.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, we got a busted plane. I'm going to die.
I came into Atlanta one time on a 737 and we fucking hit. And we had to have rotated to the right.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that too.
We had to have rotated at least 30 degrees. Because I was like, oh shit, and then we hit again and like rocked back, and we were solid. We were solid after that.
But the pilot's just over there like fucking eating Cheetos and
we
shit.
hit we hit and tilted, and I was like, that wing is going to be in the ground, and it was fine. Yeah, it was fine. We came back, and I was like, I saw the aftermath video of one of our 747s landing in Narita in Japan. Did that, came in all fucked up, landed, smacked one of its engines on the ground. The outboard
did it blow up?
The outboard port engine. No. Just the cowling smacked on the fucking pavement. That was it.
Gotta check that shit.
What was funny was they ferry flighted it back to Atlanta. At this point, everybody can probably figure out which airline I worked for.
If they know them, but yeah.
But it was parked outside the hangar because the 747s.
I can't even imagine what work that would entail. A brand new engine, probably?
Well, they'd bring them in, but you needed like 2 bays for that fucker because it's just huge.
Yeah.
But so usually we had a couple 747s parked out in front of the hangar.
747 is the big one.
The Tech Ops hangar, but yeah, the 4-engine, the big.
See, I've never been on that.
The upper deck. You ever see the ones that have the upper deck seats?
Yeah, but I've never.
That's a 747.
I've never even been.
Usually they'd have
That's
those.
like. Sorry, go ahead.
They'd have those fuckers parked out like. There was like 200 yards between the hangars and where they'd have those parked. They'd usually have a line of airplanes out there. They were either waiting to get into the hangars to get maintenance, or they were parked out there to go out, you know. What was funny was I heard about it, and then like later that day somebody showed me a video of it, and then like 2 days later it was parked out front. So I was like, that's the one I just saw the video of. It, yeah. And they had like plastic sheeting or whatever wrapped around the engine cowling.
She's telling me some.
It wasn't a big deal. It was really just they needed to replace all the cowling, the engine skin, do an inspection on the engine, make sure it was cool.
But that happened in Japan, you said?
That happened in Tokyo. Yeah.
And some motherfucker with balls of steel had to fly that bitch.
They ferry flighted it. Yeah.
To Atlanta.
Well, the thing
what
is,
do you mean ferry flighted it?
They don't have any passengers on it, and it's basically like it's maintenance only. It's like, hey, we're taking this airplane back to Tech Ops where they can work on it.
That's what I mean. Some motherfuckers had balls of steel.
But the thing is, that thing has 3 engines. So any twin engine airplane, the FAA. I don't know if it's the FAA. Part of the design requirements is that airplane has to be able to take off with 1 engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a requirement. It has to be able to take off with 1 engine.
And that's doable.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, because you think there's been issues where an airplane goes to take off and 1 engine flames out or blows up or something.
And they have to finish their flight or
it's
get to another place.
It's part of the performance requirements where they have to be able to take off on 1 engine and they have to be able to fly with 1 engine. It gets really fucked up because of the asymmetric load, the thrust and stuff like that, but they're able to do it. You think that airplane, it's got 4 engines. Yeah, one of them got fucked up. It's still got 3. I'd rather have an engine with 3 out of 4 than 1 out of 2. Or I'd rather have an airplane with 3 out of 4 than 1 out of 2. That plane was fine. You know, the engine, I don't know if the engine still worked when they ferry flighted it back, but even if it didn't, he's still got 3 engines to work on. He's got a completely unloaded airplane. He's going to be fine. Because you think there's a shitload of weight from people, cargo,
luggage,
and the extra fuel needed to ferry those. So he's flying back to the U.S. on minimum weight. Really, just the amount of weight to get them back to the U.S. It's fine. So, and really, when they got it back, I think it was just really cosmetic damage because he came in and landed and tipped, and because the wingspan is so fucking huge, that outboard engine just caught the fucking runway on the way in.
That's the plane from Snakes on a Plane. Because they had the stairs that goes up to the higher.
That's it.
Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, I think it was just a big cosmetic thing. They did an inspect on the engine and everything, made sure it was okay, and it wasn't a big deal. He kind of just tilted, caught the runway, fucked up the cowling on the underside, and that's it. But yeah, a lot of the 747s that we had would fly that route. They'd fly from either the West Coast or from Atlanta out to Eastern Asia.
We got to get Rachel on a plane.
Was it Japan or Singapore or whatnot?
Because she wants to, she's never been on a plane.
I'm going to have to change that.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'd like, ticket sales and stuff to drop down drastically. Which they usually do, I think, post-holidays. Not that we're ready to go now, but I don't even know where to take. I'd like to go to Hawaii. Just to visit. On a vacation.
Go to Rome.
Well, I'd like to Europe and shit in due time.
The cool thing is, you really just need to we got a sweet regional airport that goes right to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you can literally get to anywhere in the world from Atlanta.
I'd like to go to Saskatchewan.
With, at the most, 1 stop.
I'd like to take you up there and go.
Saskatchewan?
Yeah. Whitetail and Saskatchewan.
Might as well just drive.
I'm fucking driving to Canada. I don't know. I might drive through Canada. I wanna go up there just to see. Canada. But yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah. I don't know where we would take her, but Charlie's obviously never been on a plane.
Hawaii would be fun.
Hawaii, just because I know Grandpa used to take all them to Hawaii all the time.
Yeah, it's funny.
They've been there so many times when it was cheap.
I think they only went once.
No, I thought Grandpa said they went a bunch of times.
Nah, I think they only went once.
Grandpa was stationed out there, wasn't he?
No, he was stationed in the Northeast.
Oh. Maine? Just kidding.
Actually, Maryland.
Maryland.
He was in Maryland, but they used to fly the radar picket lines over the North Atlantic, so they'd go up over Maine and Newfoundland, whatever the fuck it's called.
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland, and they'd come back.
Who the fuck's out there calling it Newfoundland?
That's how it's spelled.
I don't give a shit what it's spelled.
I don't know how to say Newfoundland.
There goes a straight face, looks at me and says Newfoundland.
St. Edward's Island or whatever the fuck it's called.
Prince Edward's Island?
Prince Edward's.
Even I know that one.
Yeah, they'd go out there and come back around.
And it's something sound.
I don't know.
Prince Edward Island. Something.
But,
I used to know all of the provinces of Canada.
British Columbia. Alberta. Saskatchewan.
What's the one right next to it? You're literally going in line.
I know, that's how I remember it. Quebec.
You missed one.
British Columbia.
Sounds more like a Wisconsin place.
Hang on. You have British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan.
Starts with an M.
Manitoba.
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 We're just up there in Manitoba,
then
man.
You got Quebec. And I don't know.
What's the one up north? Is Nunavut, I think. I don't know how they pronounce it. Nunavut.
Yeah, you got the ones up there, because that's Yukon territory is one of them, right?
Yeah, Yukon territory is far north.
Yukon
west,
and Northwest Territory.
Northwest Territory. There's a bunch of little ones that you missed.
That are on the east, right? Like
east side. East side.
Yeah, there's
You missed. Did you say Ontario?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
Manitoba, Ontario.
Okay.
And then after that, I don't know. There's
Quebec.
like 3 or 4.
Prince Edward Island.
Wait a minute.
Newfoundland.
I said Manitoba, Quebec.
I don't think you said Ontario.
I didn't say Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario's.
Manitoba,
Ontario?
Quebec, Ontario, but then there's
Ontario's Toronto.
Prince Edward Island.
Prince Edward Island.
No. I knew about Northwest Territory, Yukon, and
yeah, you know.
Nunavut or whatever the fuck it is.
Nunavut? I don't know if somebody. I feel like somebody's gonna chew us up from pronouncing that one. That one is especially wrong. Nunavut. Nunavut? I don't know. Most people don't know the ones you said, but I think is it Newfoundland or something like that mixed in.
You gonna look it up?
Yeah.
You're actually gonna fact check something for once?
Canadian
provinces.
Provinces and oh, that might be what it is.
All right. Now name all the cities and holds in Skyrim.
Okay, so I'll go left to right. The top 3, and then I'll go left to right on the bottom. The rest of it. Yukon territories, Northwest territories. So there's actually 2.
Yeah.
None of it. I want none of it. And then on the far side, far west, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec. And then we have Newfoundland and Labrador. That's what I was.
Newfoundland and Labrador. Okay.
And then you have Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia.
Okay.
So that's cool. Now you know.
Yeah.
The more you know. Yeah, so I used to do a bunch of those, like, when I worked at Ohio Gradings, and I was in the office, I had an hour lunch. It was the first job I ever had with an hour lunch. And I used to do those mind puzzles on my computer because it was the only thing that wasn't blocked off by IT. And one of them was all of the states and where they're at, all of the territories, and then I did there was just a subsection that was all of Northern America. So it was Canada included. So I did all of the Canadian provinces and all of their capitals. I do not remember their capitals though.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I was able to drag them to where they go, and I got pretty familiar with where they were, and I got pretty good at state capitals too. A lot of people think they're like, "Oh, I know all the state capitals," and then you start asking them, and they're like, "Oh, fuck me," because most people don't realize how many you don't know. Little mind things.
I was the geography bee champion in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked geography.
I thought it was cool. Dude, I remember you. So you remember the one? He was a high school history high school history teacher, and he was jacked, really like into athletics and shit like that.
I think.
I don't want to name him, but
what's his name start with?
H. Mr. H.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so
he
gave us a fucking world map one day. He had them like laminated.
Yeah.
And he handed one out to everybody in the fucking class. And he said, just focus on Europe. Actually, it wasn't a world map. It was it showed Europe, Western Asia, Northern Africa, and like the Middle East, everything. He's like, write down as many countries as you can name, because they didn't have names on any of the countries, but it was like showed the borders. I filled that whole fucking thing.
You did?
Yeah. And nobody wrote their names on it, so we handed him in, and he picked up mine. He goes, this guy, I don't know who you are. He goes, you got it. You got it. I fucking named every single country. It was insane. Yeah, I used to be able to just like picture the world map and be like, I know what that is. Actually, the world map in the last 15 years has changed a bit, especially with Eastern Europe and even Africa. It's changed a little bit, I think. I know in like the Balkan region and whatnot, especially since the 90s, that has changed quite a bit.
I want to know how many countries either got absorbed or you can't really disband a country, right?
Bosnia conflict and all that. That
Czech
shit
Republic.
changed. That shit changed a lot of borders.
Because like I feel like the Czech Republic just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
Is Bosnia still a country?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Turkmenistan.
That's in Central Asia. I told a teacher one time, she was like, we were doing some trivia thing, and she was like, name a country that has Stan at the end of it. And I said Uzbekistan just to throw her off. She didn't fucking know Uzbekistan was actually a country.
That bitch.
Oh my god. She was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, no, seriously, it's a country.
Google it.
I was like, look it up. And she didn't look it up. I was like, fuck you, bitch.
I'll beat you. What is... Yes, I didn't know...
She was the teacher that made us write a rap song. So she was like she was a hardcore leftist. Yeah.
That movie Behind Enemy Lines.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's first and only serious role was during the Bosnian conflict, I think.
That was based on the Bosnian conflict.
And I didn't know that was like, because that was what, 90 something or 2000?
Late 90s.
Late 90s. Yeah. I didn't know there was ethnic cleansing going on in Eastern Europe.
Oh, there's, yeah.
Or is that Asia? No.
That was Eastern Europe. Yeah.
Eastern Europe. That was kind of fucking nuts.
Well, I don't know if everything in the movie was true, but...
Well, no, I did some research.
There was a conflict in Bosnia where NATO was involved.
But it was
because
based
shit
on
was getting crazy.
Ethnic cleansing, and they were all white.
I don't know if
maybe it was religious.
I don't know if there was ethnic cleansing going on in the Bosnia conflict.
Definitely genocide.
But there was a lot of crazy... There was a lot of different sects and religions and all that shit.
I know what you said, but all I heard was sex.
In that part of the world, there was a lot of mixed up people.
Tribes. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Whether it be along religious lines or ethnic lines, whatever. There was a lot of mixed up people. It was
The wrong people were in power.
It was really fucked up. Yeah, so there might have been some of that shit going on during the Bosnian conflict, but don't
Yeah, you're right. I might not go by that movie.
don't go by that movie.
Because all you were doing was taking pictures.
Don't go by that movie to understand what was going on. But
How
there was a
bonkers.
Bosnian conflict. NATO was involved. The U.S. was involved. So
Yeah, I know the U.S. was involved.
the setting for that movie was accurate.
But
none of the shit that went into that movie
portrayal
was
might
probably not accurate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of different nationalities, I guess ethnicities, religions, whatever, in that one part of the world. So, yeah, could be.
Cool. Well, we are at 1 hour, so Eric, why don't you tell the good people where to find us?
You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, Ghana. The video will be uploaded to YouTube at Harm's Way Podcast. Everything is Harm's Way Podcast except TikTok. TikTok is Harm's Way 8993. Instagram is Harm's Way Podcast. I'll also upload the video to Rumble. I just realized I forgot to upload the last episode to Rumble.
What?
Anyway, I'll do that. If you're gonna search for us on Rumble, search by channel, not by video, and
give us a Rumble, even though we don't know what the fuck that is.
I'm not sure about Rumble at this point.
If it says Rumble on our video, Rumble.
I don't really know. We didn't get any views on the Cowboy Mango episode, and I was like, damn.
Really? We got a bunch on YouTube.
Yeah, we
By
did.
a bunch, we mean 14.
Did you check?
I think it's right here.
Anyway, yeah. We'll
12,
see.
Sorry.
Rumble's just another platform for us to try to reach people. So, that's where you can find us. Oh, man. I just burped.
Do you need an EKG?
No. No.
EGD?
No.
I forgot what it was.
No.
You have ED?
No,
Alright.
I don't. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until
Give us
next
a
time.
like. Give us a listen. Try us out.
Yeah.
First one's free. Give us some love, because you know we love you.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.